Hi, this is Travis from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this clip on the Political Voices Network.
This is not how college admissions work. Rather, colleges set out standards for admission, and every student has to meet those standards. Then and only then, after first meeting the qualifications required by the school, do college look at other factors.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Exactly. It is 7 minutes after the hour. I'm Jody Hamilton sitting in for Stephanie Miller on the Stephanie Miller Show.
Good morning.
He's already on vacation,
Yep.
Travis Bone.
I'm
and
off
the lovely
next week.
Chris Lavoie. Mm-hmm. Richard Painter just tweeted out a few minutes ago, Congress should pass the Kleptocracy in Universities and Schools and Hidden Nepotism in Education Racketeering Act, otherwise known as the Kushner Act.
His goose is cooked here.
Exactly.
I'll take it.
Of 2023, which would criminalize concealment of any cash payment or other bribe in exchange for admission to institutions that receive federal funds. I am in on that because it happens all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, what the president stated was absolutely accurate. If you're already qualified to be accepted into XYZ school, and then they take race into consideration on top of that. It's not the only consideration.
Right. They take electives. They take sports. They take
your
personal
GPA,
experience.
Your SAT scores.
Well, the GPA and SAT scores are what qualify you for
Right.
admissions. It's those other things that put icing on the cake
Right.
that makes you more appealing as a candidate, and one of those things can be your race and ethnicity.
And I don't see why that should not be taken into consideration.
Yeah.
It's insane that
It's your lived experience.
And people are rightfully concerned that this could impact employment in the future. Now, military schools don't have to follow this.
There's
Right.
a reason for that.
There should be. I don't understand why they're.
I want to ask Glenn Kirschner that
Yeah.
when he's up in 20 minutes.
In 30 minutes. Yes, Glenn will be on, Mr. Kirschner, John Fugelsang, and Fridays with Frangela in the last hour. And I did bring wigs. This is for Travis, for those of you on Free Speech.
Don't.
You're going to wear it.
I don't need that.
Travis got a haircut.
I got a haircut.
You did. See, you don't need a wig. You don't need a wig cap like I do. I need a wig cap.
But then my hair get messed up.
No, it won't. Not that. Not with that. That's nothing. Please, that's easy. That's like Cher. She shaves her head practically. Like you guys, basically, that's how long her hair is because she wears wigs all the time.
Yeah. Oh.
So you can just take it off and on, and you don't have to do what I have to do.
Does she wear a wig around the house?
Probably.
Does Auntie
Why not?
Cher know you're telling the story?
She knows.
Have you been to her house?
No. My sister was though once.
Okay.
The one in Malibu?
No, different house.
Where you get to
She
Malibu?
has a billion houses, I'm
When you get to
sure.
Malibu and you make a left at Cher's house.
Yeah, at Cher's house. You know, that's
Yeah.
how you get
You-
to Point Doom. You make a left at Cher.
You kind of know it when you see it.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. No, I've never been to her home. I've only met her a few times in my life, and she's lovely.
I'm sure she is.
She is. But yes, I mean, it's easier when you're having to change your hair constantly during a show.
Yeah.
To have, because she used to have longer hair than I, and would wear wigs, and that means you need one of these.
Right.
And it's hotter
Uh-huh.
to wear said wig
Oh.
with your own hair underneath it for
I
any
know
length
that.
of time.
I've,
But you
I've,
don't
I've
need a
learned
wig
enough for
cap.
Halloween. Wigs are terrible.
Yeah. Wigs are awful. They come off within 20 minutes
Wigs
of me
don't
putting
work.
them on.
Halloween is how I know wigs are terrible, terrible.
Wigs are fun. I have my hippie wig. I'm going to put that on.
Between wigs and high heels, I know there are certain things that don't work for me at Halloween.
Yeah, heels can be uncomfortable.
I've never done heels.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That's all I wear, except here. I used to wear heels here, and then I stopped. I'm like,
Okay.
I'm sitting.
I've worn a wig for the He-Man
Right,
Yeah,
I saw
I'm
that. It was a
costume.
good wig, too.
Yeah, it was a good wig. It was a cheap wig. It was like $15 off Amazon.
Yeah, I mean, this was probably $10.
It was a blonde bob. That's all it was.
That's all you need. Oh, I
Yeah.
have one. You want to wear it
No,
again?
thank you.
Oh, come
No,
on.
no.
Please. I promised everybody you would wear wigs.
No.
I made promises for you, too.
I don't know if I told you. I wore high heels in Fresno on my last trip home.
How high were they?
They were it was a good heel. It was like I was at my
Like a
mom
3 or 4 inch heel?
My mom wanted to go to the new Nordstrom rack that had opened.
Naturally.
And so we were joking around, and I saw a pair of shoes, and I said, "Oh, you should get those." Because you've met my mom; she does not need or ever want to wear heels.
Right.
And she said, "Oh, you should see those red ones down there. They're available in a size 13." I was like, "Size 13?"
That's you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Put them on. Did a little walk down the aisle and a turn. Didn't break a leg.
Attaboy. No, I mean, my family jokes with me all the time. They're like, how tall are you really? I'm like, only 5'5.5", but they normally see me in 5 or 6 inch
Right.
platforms. So they're used to me being pushing 6 feet tall.
Yeah, with these on, I was pushing 6'8".
Oh, yeah. My friend Bridget, she was 6'8" and would wear 6-inch heels.
Yeah.
Okay.
Platforms. So she was, when my sister passed
I hope she
away,
wasn't top heavy.
She was not. She was very skinny, and very thin everywhere. But when my sisters passed away, Bridget was invited to the memorial, and as soon as I saw her walking down, I'm like, now we can start, because a 7'2" trans woman has just walked in the door. Now we can begin.
Yes, it's
my
official.
sister's memorial. Because she was 6'8" and weighed 136 pounds soaking wet.
Whoa!
Wow.
She was super skinny.
Wow.
Yeah, she was way too skinny. God rest her soul. But anyway, it's 12 minutes after the hour. 323-410-0458
Please
is
call.
the number. Yes, please do. So Sotomayor and Jackson both wrote very strong dissents yesterday, rightfully so. Sotomayor characterized the ruling as one that rolls back decades of precedent and momentous progress because the court's position is not grounded in law or fact and contravenes the vision of equality embodied in the 14th Amendment. I dissent. Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
Because she ruled on both, and Jackson she recused herself from the Harvard case because of her affiliation with Harvard and working with Harvard.
Right.
So she, unlike other judges,
She understands what a recusal is and why you should do it.
exactly. Sure. Thank you very much. So she ruled on the North Carolina case only. So it was 6-3 for North Carolina and 6-2 for Harvard. Sotomayor also wrote, the Equal Protection Clause was designed to preserve a guarantee of racial equality, stating that previous cases have concluded that this guarantee can be enforced through race-conscious means in a society that is not and has never been colorblind. That's the thing. They're like, the other justices are not understanding the point. It's Sandra Day O'Connor, as you said yesterday, was hoping that we wouldn't need affirmative action by 2028 was her specific thing. Well,
and Mike Pence yesterday said, "Oh, we don't need it anymore. We may have needed it at one time, but we don't need it."
Oh, we
anymore.
have
It's a
that.
good decision.
we do have that, don't
14,
we?
15.
Yeah, let's play 14 if we can.
I'm grateful to see the conservative majority that we helped build on the Supreme Court of the United States bring an end to most of affirmative action. Look, we want to live in a colorblind society, and I will tell you, there may have been a time 50 years ago when we needed to affirmatively take steps to correct long-term racial bias in institutions of higher education.
It's like when Justice Roberts, with the Voting Rights Act, said we have a black guy in the White House, so why do we need any sort of voting rights or civil rights for that matter? It's like, it's just, it's been a week.
I have a theory on Republicans.
Okay.
I have a theory that, like, Republicans want to live in this perfect world that we want to get to.
Sure.
But they want to pretend, they don't want to do any of the work that it takes to get there. It's like, I dated this guy who's a gay Republican. This tells you a lot. He had pec implants, butt implants, and bicep implants, and calf implants.
Wow. That's a
I was like,
lot of silicone.
Because he did not want to do the work
Right.
it took to get there. He
On
just
its
wanted
own.
to skip the hard parts.
Right.
That's what Republicans want to do. They want to skip all the hard parts of creating this society where we are colorblind, or these things are not issues anymore, but they don't want to actually go through the work to get there.
And Chris Lavoie.
I think, having worked with Republicans for 4 years at the conservative station, they think the country is already perfect.
Exactly.
It doesn't need improving.
Right.
So why have all of these regulations and why strive towards perfection when the country is already perfect? And they think that you are the problem by saying the country isn't perfect.
Right. Well, they did that with Michelle Obama and others.
Exactly.
I mean, anybody that says the fact is that we still need affirmative action.
Yeah.
And this is just the start. Mark my words.
Right.
It's going to be
This is going to go into employment law. This is
employment law,
this
and
is
it's
going to go everywhere.
And it's going to go to gender and other things that they are disagreeing with me on. But just like with the Dobbs decision, it's going to go to birth control. They're already after.
14th Amendment, equal protection is what a lot of these things are based out of.
Mm-hmm.
So they just invalidated the 14th Amendment with this ruling. They said it doesn't matter. We don't need this anymore.
Well, no, they
can
used the 14th Amendment as the excuse.
Yeah, so they can start applying that to other areas. And that's where you get
Absolutely.
into like privacy rights and Griswold, and that's what almost all of our modern
14th and 4th Amendment.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's bad law is what they just
Yeah.
did. Studies show students of color have higher graduation rates when they attend selective colleges like Harvard. Because Harvard's hard to get into.
Sure.
Yeah.
I mean, you really have to be super duper smart, have really good SAT scores for them to even consider
Yeah.
you. Even just that. And that's just two things. You have to have higher than a 4.0 GPA.
Yeah. Oh, I have a friend who went to Harvard.
I mean,
He's a very good doctor now.
Oh, I bet. I mean, my friend Angela, her brother was at Harvard Law with President Obama. They were friends. They were on the law review together.
Okay. Oh,
you
wow.
know? So it's a difficult school to
Yeah.
get into. Sotomayor also wrote in her dissent, the majority's vision of race neutrality will entrench racial segregation in higher education because racial inequality will persist so long as it is ignored. Thank you.
Yes.
You cannot ignore it. Being colorblind is just being
Blind.
blind. Thank you. It's noticing somebody is not white, is not being racist. It's just noticing something.
Yeah.
Right.
And Jackson also echoed some of Sotomayor's arguments. Our country has never been colorblind. She's absolutely right. Both justices blasted Clarence Thomas for relying on unreliable data to inform his decision to strike. And by the way, he benefited from affirmative action.
All of this.
And there are memes going on Twitter and other places where he's lifted the ladder away.
Oh yeah, that's totally what it is.
I mean, I'm still surprised he won't overturn Loving just because it would be easy for him to get out of his marriage. But
That's one way to get rid of a problem like Jenny.
yeah. Jackson said Thomas's opinion asks American society to continue ignoring the elephant in the room, the race-linked disparities that continue to impede achievement of our great nation's full potential. She also insisted that obvious truths about racial inequality are being ignored. The court's majority is preventing our problem-solving solutions, thank you, Chris, you said the same thing,
Yep.
from directly addressing the real import and impact of social racism and government-imposed racism, because it's systemic in this society, which is unfortunate. We're doing better than we were 50 years ago, but this is a step backwards.
Yeah.
It literally is putting us backwards. And it angers me to no end. And like Richard Painter said, we should pass the Kushner Act. I like that he did it that way.
His goose is cooked here.
Exactly.
Hi, everybody. Julliana Forlano here for the Political Voices Network. We hope you're enjoying Political Voices and all the content we provide on the daily. Now, there are a few new programs in the wings that are going to launch just in time for election season. If you're able and would like to help us continue bringing you all this content, please help support us by clicking the join button. We're going to have some perks for members, including early video release. You get the information first. Members only chat rooms, live shows, member badges, all the good stuff and more, all coming soon. So click that join button if you can to support us. And rest assured, we will continue to bring you all the great content you have known from the Political Voices Network and more. Thanks so much. See you soon.